GPT-5.5 stops thinking at exactly 516 tokens, and nobody at OpenAI told you. The secondary spikes land at exactly 1,034 and 1,552. That's 516 times 2 and 516 times 3. Round, repeating, mechanical. Those aren't the natural scars of a model that stopped because it finished thinking. Those look like budget caps. When a dev dug through 390,000 Codex task records to prove it, the data was right there in the metadata the whole time. So here's the question. If GPT 5.5 is their most reasoning-efficient model ever, why is it apparently thinking less? 8 days ago, a developer opened GitHub issue number 3364 on the OpenAI Codex repo. They've been tracking reasoning output tokens across nearly 400,000 Codex task records going back to February 2026, and buried in that data was a pattern that shouldn't exist. GPT 5.5 responses were clustering at exactly 516 reasoning tokens. Not around 516, exactly 516. GPT 5.5 accounts for only 19.3% of responses in the dataset, but it's responsible for 82% of exact 516 events. It's a 33.6 times anomaly against every other model in the sample. The probability of that happening by chance is not a thing you calculate. It's a thing you screenshot and post to Hacker News, which is exactly what happened. 273 upvotes, 104 comments, 12 hours, 0 corporate response. The silence is currently doing all the talking. But the anomaly count alone would be almost forgivable if the outputs were correct. They're not. The model wasn't finishing efficiently. It was quitting early and guessing. And the gap between efficient and capped is everything. OpenAI's official blog post bragged, and I'm quoting directly, that GPT 5.5 was carefully tuned in Codex to deliver better results with fewer tokens. Efficiency means the model reaches the right answer faster. Capped means the model stops whether it's right or not. You're paying for a reasoning model. Whole point is that it thinks. If it's hitting a wall at token 516 on your hardest debugging sessions and returning the wrong answer, that's not a feature. That's a bug or a cost-cutting decision, or both. But the 516 issue isn't even the only Codex trust problem this month. Separately, GitHub issue 28211 documents something worse. Codex autonomously downgrading users from GPT 5.5 to a mini-model mid-session, while the UI still shows GPT 5.5. No notification, no warning. The OpenAI community forums have been lighting up since May with reports of GPT 5.5 feeling degraded, performance dropping on tasks that worked fine 2 months ago. The picture assembles quickly. Reasoning tokens clustering at suspiciously exact thresholds. Task failure rates correlating with those thresholds. And the model sometimes quietly swapping itself for something cheaper without telling you. OpenAI has not responded to any of it. If this is useful, hit subscribe. I do one of these every single day, and most of them are about how somebody just got completely owned. Here's the contrarian take. Don't panic switch to Claude Code just yet. The data on the 516 clustering is real, but the original reporter is careful to note it doesn't prove a hidden cap. It proves an anomaly. The cause could be a routing flag, a fallback tier, a scheduler behavior, or an undisclosed budget setting. What it definitely proves is that you shouldn't be running Codex on high-stakes tasks without validating your outputs. Concretely, start monitoring your own reasoning output token histograms. Here's the command to pull them from your Codex logs directly. If you see a spike at exactly 516 and the task came back wrong, you've reproduced the issue in production. File a new issue, attach your logs, and reference issue 30364 and 29353. Community evidence is the only thing moving this right now. For teams paying $200 a month on OpenAI Pro, pin your model to a specific snapshot. Run critical tasks twice at X high reasoning effort and compare outputs. Until OpenAI explains what 516 actually is, treat it as a black box you can't fully trust for complex multi-step work. Which brings us back to the question from the top. Why would OpenAI's most reasoning efficient model stop thinking at a suspiciously round number? The frustrating answer is we genuinely don't know. Maybe it's a default reasoning budget that never got surfaced in the docs. Maybe a cost control mechanism that scaled wrong. Maybe an infrastructure artifact from how they route requests between model tiers. But 390,000 data points don't lie. And a 33 times anomaly in a production model is not noise. It is a signal. OpenAI built their entire Codex pitch around the idea that you could trust GPT 5.5 with your hardest engineering work. Trust is earned in the logs, not in the launch blog.
And right now, the logs are saying something different. If OpenAI responds, I'll cover it. If they don't, that's also the story. Drop a comment if you've seen weird Codex behavior lately, wrong answers on tasks that should have been easy, or sudden drops in reasoning quality. If there's a pattern in the comments, that's the next video. Like the video if it saved you a debugging session, and I'll see you tomorrow.